Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to redeem your hard-earned miles for maximum value. I want to highlight some of the redemption sweet spots as well as some of the sour spots, the pitfalls you need to avoid when redeeming your Alaska miles. And we can't talk about redeeming Alaska miles without first talking about maximizing earning Alaska miles, because you're leaving free miles on the table and you don't even know it. Alaska miles are some of the hardest to earn, but they're among the most valuable, usually being valued between 1.2 and 1.8 cents per mile. For this video and for simplicity, we're gonna value them at 1.5 cents. So if you have 100,000 miles, it's worth about 1,500 bucks. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how to 2x, 5x, or even 10x that value. There are 6 main ways I use to earn Alaska miles. Number 1, hacking. There are 2 hacks that I use. The first one is taking advantage of their 20-minute bag guarantee. So if you are flying Alaska and your bag doesn't arrive on the carousel within 20 minutes of landing, you're entitled to 2,500 bonus miles. Just go to the gate agent within 2 hours and collect your free miles. Hack number 2, inconvenience. If I book an Alaska ticket and then they make a schedule change on their end ahead of time, a lot of the times I'll book a car or an Airbnb and this will be an inconvenience. So I'll call them up and just ask for an inconvenience credit. Typically, I get about 3,000 bonus miles. One time they even gave me a $100 flight credit. All you have to do is ask. Number 2, spending with shopping partners and the shopping portal. This is the least valuable option for me because these partners aren't part of my normal spend. I would look into SoFi. You can refinance a personal loan or a student loan, get up to 50,000 Alaska bonus miles, which that's pretty sweet. If you do shop online a lot, you can shop through Alaska's portal and you can earn a bunch of bonus miles on bigger company like Canva and Nike, and you can earn some bonus miles that way. But once again, not really relevant to me. I don't spend a lot online. Number 3, buying miles. This is almost always a bad move and I don't recommend this. Alaska sells miles for 3 cents per mile. Now remember what we said earlier, they're worth about 1.2 to 1.8 cents. So Alaska's selling them at a premium. If you buy miles, you will be upside down in them to what they're worth. The only situation that it makes sense is if you are buying miles to top off your account to get to a certain mileage that you can redeem for a ticket, or if you know you can get more value than the 3 cents per mile that they're selling them for, which I know that's kind of confusing. We'll get into that later. Number 4 is the most underrated strategy in the entire Alaska Mileage Plan environment for earning bonus miles, and nobody's talking about it. Booking hotels. Last year I booked a hotel through Alaska Hotels for a one-night stay in Dublin, Ireland. The hotel cost $375, but it earned me 3,000 Alaska miles, or 8 miles per dollar of spend, which is extremely high, and it gets better. I've seen stays earn as much as 18 miles per dollar of spend. Like this example, you can book a stay in the Maldives for 5 nights. It would cost $2,800 booking through Alaska Hotels, but you'd earn 50,000 Alaska miles on that stay, worth about $750 at a minimum, resulting in a 27% return on spend. That's insane earning potential that you need to take advantage of. But remember, always check directly with the hotels or explore other mile and point earning opportunities to make sure you're getting the best deal and the best return on spend. But to me, this is a great way to earn extra valuable Alaska miles. Number 5, credit cards. Alaska only has 2 available co-branded credit cards that allow you to earn miles based on your spend: the Alaska Business Card and the Alaska Visa Signature Card. Now, I have both these cards, love the cards, but it really is the best way to get a big boost in miles. And right now, Alaska is offering their biggest sign-up bonus ever on that card, 70,000 miles. After you spend, I think it's $3,000 in the first 3 months. If that's interesting to you, click the link in the description, send me an email, and I will send you my referral link to that 70,000 mile offer. Really helps me out, gets me some bonus miles, gets you 70,000 miles. Moving on. Number 6, flying. Alaska is part of this 13 carrier alliance called the One World Alliance that allows you to earn Alaska miles whenever you fly any of the One World carriers or their partners. On Alaska, you earn 1 mile per 1 mile flown in economy at a minimum until you hit elite status, at which point you'll earn bonus mile multipliers. But it's not always 1 mile per mile flown on partner airlines. You'll have to check your partner airline's fare class and the miles earning chart to find out exactly how many miles you will earn on your flight. That was a lot, but now the fun begins. Now we talk about redemptions and all the ways to use all these miles that we've earned, so let's get into it. You can redeem your Alaska miles for a number of different things, but most people use them to buy award tickets on oneworld carriers. These carriers service over 1,000 destinations, and you can book tickets to any of these destinations using your Alaska miles. Meaning, you can fly to Kathmandu, Nepal on Qatar Airways, or you can fly to Nairobi, Kenya on British Airways, or Buenos Aires, Argentina on LATAM. Those are just a few examples. But in order to get maximum value from your Alaska miles, there are 2 rules you always need to follow. Number 1, Alaska's free stopover policy. So Alaska allows you to build in a stopover along your journey. And a stopover is just a layover for more than 24 hours. So if you're flying from here to Australia and they stop in Fiji, you can stop for a day, 3 days, 7 days before carrying on for the same price. This is very valuable and allows you to kind of get 2 vacations in one. We'll talk more about it and I'll show some examples of that. And rule number 2, it kind of goes without saying, but it needs to be said, being flexible. So award space can be really easy to find or extremely difficult to find. It's a game and you have to just grind and work at it to find the right dates, and by being a little flexible and shifting your dates to accommodate premium award space will absolutely be worth it and will maximize your value. With that being said, here are the 5 main ways to redeem your miles. Number 1, transferring or donating miles. Donating your miles to a nonprofit might be a great thing to do. It might really fulfill you, but you do lose your miles, obviously. Transferring your miles to like a friend or a family member costs $10 per 1,000 miles. So 1 cent per mile to transfer. Now we talked earlier, miles are worth 1.5 cents. So by transferring them at 1 cent per mile, you're losing 66% of your value. Both of these options, for obvious reasons, just don't make sense to me. Number 2, magazine subscriptions. And this actually isn't bad value. You get between 2 and 4 cents per mile, which is above their 1.5 cents per mile intrinsic value. But to me, this doesn't make sense. It's such a laughably small title selection. And if you're watching this, you're not trying to buy magazines, you're trying to travel. So I'd skip this. Number 3, booking hotels. And where booking a hotel with a credit card to earn miles is a sweet spot, booking a hotel with miles is a sour spot. Just avoid this. And here's why. I couldn't find a hotel redemption that got above 0.6 cents per mile. So less than half their true value of 1.5 cents per mile. I mean, you can see every hotel that is available to book with miles is just a bad deal. I've searched cheap stays, luxurious stays, Europe, Asia, the Northwest, and I can't find a deal. Let me know if you found any good value or opportunities booking hotels with miles in the comments, because right now I think it's overpriced and expensive, a terrible use of miles. The 4th way to redeem is through extras. Now this is something not many people talk about. I just found it while doing research and I just discovered it, but it's something I'm gonna keep my eye on because there are opportunities to be had here. So it looks like it's sort of this auction-ish website, but there's also kind of a buy it now option. Essentially, it's most relevant to those who live in Seattle or Portland because that kind of seems to be where the events are located, but it's essentially an area where you can redeem your miles to buy tickets to experiences. I've seen Moulin Rouge tickets that were going for $400 that cost like 3,000 miles, which I think comes out to about 6 cents per mile redemption, which is amazing. It's the highest that we've had yet. I also saw Blazers tickets, 200 level. Normally it's about $400 for those tickets where they were sitting, and they were selling them for 2,000 miles. So 8 cents per mile redemption. So pretty awesome opportunity there. Really good tickets. And I mean, right now I think there's just some college games on there, but I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out on this page for future opportunities. The 5th and final way to redeem your miles is what everyone's been waiting for, redeeming miles for award tickets on oneworld carriers. Now, this is also where people argue. People are gonna say, what is value? Is it better to blow all your miles on this international first class epic adventure, get a really high cent per mile value? Or is it better to be able to do multiple round trip tickets to a place, but sit in economy? I don't really know where I fall on the spectrum, but regardless, I'm gonna be showing a few examples from both of these mindsets, so let's get into it. To search and book award tickets, go to alaskaair.com, type in your origin, your destination, and I start with one-way tickets. Since many partner airline routes only operate on certain days, this will just expedite the process of searching for availability. I then click Use Miles and Award Calendar. And in the calendar view, you can search by fare class, economy, business first, etc. Then on the normal fare page, you can filter by airline. So let's get into it with making our miles stretch on the best deals in economy. First up, we have flying economy to Costa Rica. It costs 15,000 miles each way for a total of 30,000 miles round trip from anywhere in the US. You can fly from Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Boston, JFK, bunch of different flights. Some are terrible, some are good. That's where the grind of award ticket searching comes in. You just have to do this to find the best tickets. But at just 30,000 miles for a round trip ticket, main class fare from anywhere in the US, which normally would retail for like $900, and we're getting it for 30,000 miles, this gives us a value of 3 cents per mile. So your 100,000 miles that used to be worth $1,500, $3,000 of value just like that. But let's move on. Next up, we have off-peak American Airlines to Europe. You can fly to Zurich, Milan, Paris, any of these destinations for 22,500 miles in main class economy fare there. This ticket normally would go, I don't know, $700. Probably gets you a value of around 2.8 cents per mile. Pretty darn good value. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Europe? And you go in the shoulder season or the off season where it's a little lighter, fewer people, you're gonna have the time of your life. And this last example from the mindset of making your miles stretch in economy, this is the sweetest spot of them all, and probably something I'll take advantage of next year is flying economy Cathay Pacific from the US to Asia. But here's the catch. You can fly to Hong Kong for 30,000, or you can fly to Hong Kong and then onward to a few other Asian destinations. So like I said, you can go to Bali and it's the same price as if you just went to Hong Kong. So I might as well build in a few days in Hong Kong. Let me enjoy Hong Kong. So you get like 2 vacations in one, and for 30,000 miles, that's insane value. Now, in all 3 of these examples, you're taking a 6-hour, 10-hour, 14-hour flight in economy. That's pretty rough. Now, what if you wanted a more pampered experience, an upper class level experience? Well, here's 3 examples of upper class travel. Let's get into it. First up, we have flying to Lima, Peru in business class. Now this is a sweet deal, 30,000 miles. I've also found this deal to other destinations in South America, but we're gonna use this as an example. You can fly from JFK or Portland, but just make sure you check the class of each leg, as some will be better than others. And it will notify you when the legs have different classes, and you can sort that out yourself. But you are really gonna have to search to find those great flights, the shorter duration flights. But at the end of the day, this is a ticket that's gonna go for about $2,000 for 30,000 miles, giving us a value of 6.6 cents per mile, meaning your 100,000 miles that you have is now worth about $6,600. A lot better than the default value of $1,500. Let's move on to the next example. Next up, we have flying business class to New Zealand or Australia. But we're gonna take advantage of Alaska's stopover policy to get a lot more value, because as you can see, we stop in Fiji before carrying on. And so I'm going to check Fiji Airways route map, check their schedule, and then I can put together a multi-city itinerary that makes sure I get a week in Fiji, maybe a week and a half, who knows, before carrying on to New Zealand. Now, this is a $3,400 award ticket going for 55,000 miles, bringing in a value of about 6 cents per mile. And that's a long flight. You're gonna enjoy that flight, but you won't quite be able to get a round trip ticket out of it. So once again, what's more valuable to you? Maybe fly there business and then economy back. Okay, that's probably my preferred itinerary. I'd love to go to New Zealand, Fiji, but in terms of the highest value, the highest cent per point redemption that you can get with Alaska Miles, there's one itinerary that stands alone. It is the white whale for travel hackers. It is flying first class Cathay Pacific from the US to Hong Kong. Now this is gonna cost you 70,000 Alaska Miles, so you're gonna spend a lot on it, but it's an absolutely epic experience from what I hear. And those tickets normally retail for $10,000 to $12,000 US, meaning you're gonna get a value of 17.5 cents per mile, which is absolutely insane. I can't imagine the experience you're gonna have. But this is where it gets tricky. You can't search for upper class availability, business class, first class, on the Alaska Airlines website. You have to use alternate methods. So British Airways or Qantas shows Cathay Pacific award availability. I like Qantas because you can see the whole calendar view and all the different classes. And from what I've seen, it really looks like first class is just gonna be nearly impossible. I'm gonna settle on business class, I think, And so I'd find my business class award space. I'm gonna mark down the time, the date, the flight number, all that good stuff. And then I'm gonna have to call Alaska Airlines. I'll put the number right in here. And so you call them and then give them that information that you just wrote down. They will book it for you. And so yeah, it's a little bit clunkier. It's a little bit different than just booking straight online. You have to call in, but you know what? That's the price you pay for being a travel hacker and trying to get the most bang for your buck, the biggest value, highest cent per point. From what I hear, it's just absolutely an epic experience, and it's on everyone's bucket list, including mine. It's gonna be hard to find award space. Business class, go for it. That's the video. I hope you liked it. Drop a comment down below on what you would do with 100,000 Alaska miles, and I will see you in the next one.